Ohio State, Illinois, Zach. Ohio State kind of, you know, their fans were not super happy with this one. I think
Yeah.
it's a good win for Ohio State, and I think
Yeah.
Ohio State fans need to do the right score bug down here. I think Ohio State fans should be, happy about this win. You went into Champaign,
Yeah.
defeated an Illinois team that has a really good offense this season. You had your slot corner back out in this one, and I don't know, the defense might have looked better without that slot cornerback in there. I think it might be better with Jermaine Matthews at the slot than it does
Hmm.
with Lorenzo Styles. So, you know, I get that it was some conservative play calling, but you also didn't need to be anything all that much because you got the ball in, you got turnovers to put it in enemy territory 4 times. Like,
Yeah.
why did they need to try and be explosive? What do you think?
Yeah. My panic level is like a 1.1 because I think
Yeah.
there are legitimate things that I think the lunatic fringe are pointing out. Like the running backs aren't hitting holes well.
Yeah,
The
the
defense,
run game is not great right now,
yeah,
especially
and
if Bo Jackson is hurt.
yeah, and the defense, they struggled against up tempo. Okay, like valid things. Um, they beat a ranked team, or at least should be ranked team, on the road by 18, playing their C+ game, and it was fine. I I mean, it was 34-10. It was over. It was over before halftime,
Mm-hmm.
the way that Ohio State was playing. And the thing that I think people just need to understand, people were comparing this to the Nebraska game a year ago, where like Nebraska actually almost beat Ohio State. And I'm like, guys, this is not the same thing. This was Texas all over again.
Yeah.
Ohio State didn't need to assert themselves anymore. They were up by 20. They were up by, and then it was what, 20-10. It was like, oh my gosh, they're losing by, or they're only up 10. Then it was 27-10. Then it was 34-10. Game, set, match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, calm down.
Yeah.
There are issues. They need to fix them.
Well, every
But
team
like,
has issues. Nobody's a perfect team.
yeah. So like, but like, don't they have two of the best defensive play, like two players are going to be picked in the top 10 of the NFL draft on defense. Like, just chill. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't really understand the conservative play calling stuff. You were up 20-0 in the game. You were getting short fields constantly. Eh, eh, I didn't get it. So, like you said, it was a C+ game from Ohio State. Were there things they did wrong? Absolutely. Did the secondary get exposed a little bit with some of the, grabbing and stuff downfield a little bit? Yes. Could you have been in more trouble if some more penalties were called in this game? Absolutely. But overall, I mean, you got out of it with an 18-point win on the road against a top 22.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't be mad about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think
Do,
the Ohio State fans are. We just had
do,
Ohio State fans in the chat saying like we're satisfied with it. Oh yeah, you should be satisfied.
yeah.
It was a
Do,
good win.
do you agree with this? It was closer than the score showed.
Yeah, if you take out some of the turnover issues, but I mean you can't take them out. I do think Illinois played to a more similar level to Ohio State at times, but
Do you think if Ohio State opened it up more, do you think it would have been
well, and
as
that's the argument,
close?
right? Is if they weren't the turnovers, would Ohio State have opened it up more and scored 40 plus?
Yeah.
Could have happened. We just don't
Yeah.
know.
I my theory, this is a theory, is at least until we get to the playoffs, I think when Ohio State's up 3 scores, they're just going to shut it down because they know
Yeah.
that the way that you let the other team back in the game is by throwing it.
Yeah, this to me, this was the perfect way that Ryan Day wants to win
Yeah.
a top, ranked matchup on the road in the Big Ten right now in the regular season.
Yeah.
Force the other team to turn the ball over, give yourself short fields. You don't have to be super explosive. You can kind of just play ball control a little bit, score points, get off the field, move on.
Yeah. So, and I hate to be that guy to argue with our fans. It was not close. Like I disagree with the premise that it was close because I think Ohio State got up 20-0 and they became disinterested. Like honestly became, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Illinois because I think Illinois is really good. But that's why I'm like the panic level is like a 1.1. It's not like there are things to clean up, but I think people need to chill.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe close isn't the right word. I thought it was more competitive than the score showed. I thought it was more competitive, offense versus defense and some of the stuff that was going on than the score showed. Does that mean that, it was a close game? Maybe
I
not. But I
I'll
think
give you
that
that. I'll give
Illinois
you
was
that.
able to move the ball down the field, and I think that
Yeah.
Illinois had had some downs when they were able to stop Ohio State, but at the end of
Yeah.
the day, Ohio State was just able to convert on third down.
Yeah. Bailey in particular was a dude on defense.
Yeah.
And yeah, Altmaier, I thought some of the play calling was phenomenal by Illinois. But I think that's maybe part of my point is it felt like Illinois has dudes and like it's probably aside from Texas, like maybe the most talent equated game, although I don't think it was a talent equated. So I'll give you that, but I still don't think I think it took a lot for Illinois to be anywhere near this game. So
Mm-hmm. Blue Wolverine gave away 10 Big Ten Huddle memberships. We appreciate you doing that, Blue Wolverine. That is very generous of you, and you're awesome with going in. I see you
yeah.
doing this at other channels and stuff all the time, man. That's just that means so much to creators and what we
Mm-hmm.
do and everything.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Blue Wolverine. We appreciate it. Bo Glue.
Well, so my panic level for Illinois is a 3, and part of this is because of the turnovers in the game. I think you honestly could elevate it to a 4, not necessarily because of Illinois, but because the way that the nation is viewing Illinois at this point.
Yeah.
Right now, Illinois' only losses are to Ohio State and Indiana, and they're still unranked. Right? They have a
So
win against USC, but so it's not even like your own doing, in my opinion. I guess you could say it's your own doing because you lost by 53 points to Indiana, but I it's just kind of perception at this
yeah.
point that kind of
Yeah.
makes you concerned less so about the play on the field. Now I do think there rightfully needs to be concern and panic about the play on the field because you had a special teams miscue with the punter kneeing the ball. You had an interception thrown by Luke Altmaier, which wasn't totally his fault, but there was definitely fault on Luke Altmaier on that one. And then you had the fumble and the strip sack. I mean, if you're Illinois, if you're going to win these big games, you can't turn the ball over like that.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I'm at a 2. And now, if you're just talking about perception, it's a 5 because the AP poll is just ridiculous.
For me, the biggest thing is the turnovers and the perception. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm at a 2. Like Luke Altmaier has not that was his first pick. And it was a really good play. He was trying to throw a tight window throw. He hit another tight window throw in that game that should have been caught. It was just bonkers how accurate it was.
Yeah. I mean, it was honestly more a great play by Jermaine Matthews than it was a bad play by Luke Altmaier.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Pierce. It was Peyton Pierce, right, who picked that off, and Matthews had Matthews knocked it up. But I think I felt like it was more Ohio State good play. I think Illinois had some reason to be a little upset at Igbinosun and the lack of calls of DPI. There was holding on Arvell Reese like nobody's business though. So those things kind of equal out.
Thing was there were penalties on both sides.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like they played. They kind of did what I expected. By the way, I'll take my victory lap. I picked 34-17 on this game. So this guy, one of my few.
28-17. So
there you go. We're both close. But I look at Illinois' schedule and I'm like, they're at Washington. That is the toughest game left on their schedule. Then it's Rutgers at home, Maryland at home, which is that's not a gimme. At Wisconsin, Northwestern at home. I mean, I hate to say this, but I think minimum you're staring at 9-3 unless if they really botch it against one of these teams. And I think 10-2 is still very much on the table.
10 wins is still on the table. You can win your bowl game and still get to 10 wins.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, Washington's probably not going to be a ranked versus ranked game because the AP poll's stupid. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. No, I think you make good points there. Yeah, mine was just more with the turnovers and the perception, which we both agree the perception really heightens it.
Yeah, so. The perception sucks.
Yeah.